Good morning. Now, today we are going to discuss how can we check order of reaction with the help of integrated rate law method in case we are given total concentration of reactant plus product and if you are given concentration of product only. I hope you remember in the very last class we have used formula like K equal to 2.303 divided by T A naught divided by A. Now this is for first order reaction integrated rate law method, and here A naught and A, they are concentration of reactant. But in certain questions you may given concentration of product or you may given total concentration. Total concentration means it is product plus reactant, or you are given only product. In these questions you need to first convert total concentration into concentration of reactant only or concentration of product into reactant, so that you can use this formula and to get the desired number. So we are going to discuss two examples. In the first example, you can see here, if total concentration, it means reactant plus product given in the question. Now such type of questions are generally given for the reaction that takes place in gases and the products are also gases. Like here you can see a reaction A converting to B plus C, and all the three substances are in gaseous state. Because in this condition it's very easy for us to determine the total pressure along with time of reaction. You know that the concentration of gases can be measured in pressure, and because all are in gases we can easily calculate how the pressure change along with time. So here you are given total pressure in such type of questions, but we need to convert this total concentration or total pressure into pressure, which is indirectly concentration of reactant only. So here a question for us, for the reaction A plus A convert into B plus C, following data were obtained. It is time given 0, 6 and 12, it is given in minutes, and total pressure is given in mm of Hg. It is 35, 54 and 63. So to implement this formula, the question is determine order of reaction. Because you are given time and concentration, this is time and this is concentration, you can use integrated rate method, but for this you need reactants, not total. So first of all you need to convert this total concentration into concentration of reactant only, and for this we are using this following method. Look at here, when time is 0 and total pressure is 35, when time is 0, it means the reaction has not started. And if the reaction is not start, it means the amount of product will be 0. This means at 0 time, whatever concentration is given, it is belong to only reactant. So at 0 time, the concentration of reactant must be 35. I repeat, as at 0 time, the reaction has not started. If the reaction has not started so far, it means the product is 0, and if product is 0, it means the total pressure is equals to pressure of reactant only. At 6 minute and 12 minute, how can we calculate concentration of reactant? For this, look at here, this is balance equation, A convert into B plus C. Initial concentration of reactant, it is 35, we already predicted here. Initial concentration of products are 0 because we generally not start a reaction with product, so it is 0. Now after some time, it may be 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, whatever, but after some time you can write it is 35 minus X. Because it is a reactant, it consumes, and this is initial concentration plus X, it means 0 plus X, or you can simply write it is X, and the concentration of the third substance is also X. I hope you remember the very first chapter of class 11th, stoichiometric relationship, because here the stoichiometric coefficients are 1, 1 and 1, therefore it is X, X and X. If it is 2, you have to write here 2X, if it is 3, you have to write here 3X, and this you have studied in class 11th, so no need to explore on this. Whatever the stoichiometric coefficient, you have to write same number of x here, and in reactant subtract, and in product it will form, so it is x and x. So this is after some time 35 minus x, it is reactant, and x and x, B and C. Now what is total concentration here? You have to add all these three substance for to get total concentration. So it is 35 minus x plus x and plus x. X cancel by this x, and now it is 35 plus x. Now I am going to highlight 2 points here for the next slide. One is the total concentration is 35 plus x, and the concentration of reactant after some time, it is 35 minus x. This is reactant. It is 35 minus x, this is reactant, but total concentration is 35 plus x. Now we will calculate concentration of reactant at 6 minute and 12 minute as per the question. So at 6 minute, you can see total pressure is 54. So this is total pressure, this is total pressure at 6 minute. We equalize these two number, it means 35 plus x, which is total pressure. As per the question, it is 54 at 6 minute. Look at here in the next slide. So as I highlighted in the previous slide, concentration of A is 35 minus x. Total concentration is 35 plus x. As per the question at 6 minute, the total concentration is equals to 54. The value of x you can get here, 54 minus 35 equals to 19. Now if you get the value of x, now you can calculate the concentration of A also, which is 35 minus x. So 35, the value of x is 19. It means this is concentration of reactant when the time is 6 minute. Similarly, when time is 12 minute, once again 35 plus x, this is 35 plus x, which is total pressure. This time 35 plus x, total pressure is 63. As per the question, you can see here at 12 minute total pressure is 63. So total pressure is 63. Get the value of x, 63 minus 35, 28. And once you get the value of x, once again place the value of x here. It is 35 minus 28 equals to 7. So now you get the concentration of reactant at 0 minute, 6 minute and 12 minute. At 0 minute, the concentration is same as the total pressure. At 6 minute, we have calculated as 16, and at 12 minute, we have calculated as 7. Once you get the reactant, now you can implement formula for integrated rate flow method, that is K equal to 2.303 log A naught upon A. To confirm that it is first order reaction, we will calculate the value of K at 6 minute. You can see here at 6 minute. At 6 minute, initial concentration is 35 and the final concentration at 16 minute for 6 minutes of reactant is 16. Similarly, it is of 12 minute. Now time is 12. Initial concentration once again it is 35 and concentration of reactant is 7. When you get the value of K here, you will find that the value of K is same when we have used formula for first order. It means it is example of first order reaction. I have shared earlier, whenever change in concentration or change in time is not constant, then it looks like a first order reaction. Here you can see the difference between these two is 35 and 16. The difference is of 19 and here the difference is of 9. So change in concentration is not constant. This is a hint for us that it should be a first order reaction. To calculate order of reaction, integrated rate flow method is a hit and trial method, but you can directly start here formula of first order reaction because this give us a hint that it is a first order reaction. Now next, in the previous question, reactant plus product is given and we converted into reactant. In this question, we will given only product and we need to convert product into reactant. Such type of questions are generally related to those reactions in which the product can be determined, the concentration of product can be determined easily in laboratory. For example, this is hydrolysis of ester and two product, one is acid, other is alcohol is produced in the reaction. So you can easily determine the amount of acid produced time to time with the help of titration or with certain other method. Best is we have discussed about titration earlier. So you can calculate the amount of acid produced with the help of titration, and therefore in such type of reactions it is easier for us to check the amount of product formed at different time. Now either we can provided amount of acid directly, or we may also given amount of base required to neutralize this acid. Obviously, as the amount of acid increase, amount of base required for titration or amount of base required to neutralization is also increased. So here two data, this type of two data are generally provided. One, it is volume of acid produced or volume of base required for titration. Indirectly, this is amount of product and time. So in this question, once again, you are given concentration and time. If you need to calculate either order of reaction or you need to calculate value of K, for both of these two questions, you first need to convert product into reactant. Now, how can you convert product into reactant? For this, it is explained here by one example. A plus B convert into C plus D. This is just like this reaction. Now suppose we started with 100 particles of A. This is initial concentration of reactant. It is 100. We don't know right now because in this question we are given amount of product. So let initial concentration was 100. The second substance, water, it is generally taken in excess. Now C and D, these are product. So initial concentration is 0 and 0. Here according to balanced chemical equation, you can see one particle convert into one particle. One particle of A convert into one particle of C. If we have 100 particles of reactant, we assumed it means at the end of reaction, the amount of C particle will also 100. I repeat, 1 convert into 1, 2 convert into 2. Suppose at the end of reaction, we got 100 particles of C. It is the final concentration of product, and this final concentration of product should be equals to initial concentration of reactant. I repeat, final concentration of product, which is 100 particle form here, it is equals to initial concentration of reactant. Now remember one thing, that none of the reaction generally complete to 100% extent, and therefore we have to heat the reaction mixture. We have to heat the reaction mixture so that we can assume that now the reaction has completed. I repeat, if you carry a reaction at room temperature, then it may require infinite time to complete the reaction. We may require infinite time to get this number. To overcome this problem, suppose you collected volume of product at 0 time, 5 time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes at room temperature. And after 25 minutes, you provide heat, you heated it for some time and then calculate the amount of product. This is not considered as 30 or 35 minutes. This time is now considered as infinite time because indirectly we have completed the reaction by giving temperature. And therefore, because time is infinite, the volume obtained here is considered as infinite. It is V infinite. It means volume at infinite time. So in short, I repeat, the final concentration of product, which is 100 here, denoted by V infinite, is equals to initial concentration of reactant. So A naught, which is initial concentration of reactant, is now replaced by V infinite, which is final concentration of reactant. Or you can also write A naught, or you can write A naught equals to V infinite minus V0. It is at 0 time. Now the amount of product generally 0 at 0 time, But if you are given something at V0 also, then you need to subtract it. This some amount of product at 0 time may be due to some error, may be due to presence of catalyst or impurities. So A naught can be replaced by V infinite minus V0. In case you are not given V0, then take V0 equals to 0 because it is at 0 time the amount of product. And similarly, A can be calculated by V infinite minus Vt. Once again, this is V infinite. Vt is also given. Vt means it is volume of product at a particular time, say for example at 5 minutes, at 10 minutes, at 15 minutes, and etc. So in short, when you use formula log A naught upon A and you are given amount of product, then A naught should be replaced by V infinite minus V0 and A replaced by V infinite minus Vt to get the right answer. Another point, it is half-life. Now what is half-life? It is denoted by T half, and as per definition it is time required to convert half of the reactants into product. As I told you that none of the reaction, in fact most of the reaction do not complete to 100% even in infinite time, and therefore we cannot say that this reaction complete in this particular time period, and therefore in place of the complete lifetime for a reaction we use another term, that is half-life. Half-life represent the time period in which 50% or half of the reactants convert into product. Now for first order reaction, we are now familiar with this formula. At half-life, you can make two changes here. You can replace this T by symbol T half. Because it is half-life, its symbol is T half. And another point is, this is concentration of leftover reactant. Because it is at half-life, so leftover concentration will be 50% of initial concentration as per the definition of half-life. So concentration of A will equals to 50% of initial concentration. It means it is A naught divided by 2. Replace this both in this formula. You can write for T half equals to 2.303 upon K. T half equal to 2.303 upon K log. This is initial concentration, which is same here, and this is final concentration. Now final concentration can be replaced by A naught upon 2. So here we have replaced by A naught upon 2. A naught can be cancelled by A naught, or you can write this as 2.303 upon K log 2. The value of log 2 is 0.3010. When you multiply them, 0.3010 and 2.303, you get T half equals to 0.693 upon K. Now two important point here. First, you can see half-life independent on concentration in first order reaction. There is no expression of concentration of reactant. It means capital A here. This means half-life does not depend on concentration in case of first order reaction. A very important point. Another point is, in a number of questions in which you required, suppose you need to calculate time and you are given other variables, but you are not given K directly. I repeat, you need to calculate time in a question. You are not given K also. In place of K, you are given half-life. So with the help of half-life, you can calculate value of K. K equal to 0.693 upon half-life. But remember, this is only for first order reaction. So T half independent on concentration, you can see here, and K can be calculated for first order reaction by the help of T half. Now for zero order reaction, the formula was K equal to A naught minus A upon T. Once again, do the same corrections at half-life. T replaced by T half and this A replaced by half of initial concentration. So A naught minus half of A naught, it will be half of A naught. You can solve for T half. T half equal to half of A naught divided by 2K. Now here you can see half-life directly proportional to A naught, or half-life is directly proportional to concentration of reactant. So first order reaction, it doesn't depend on concentration, but zero order reaction, it depends on initial concentration of reactant. here it is I have written here summary. First order reaction, it is directly proportional to A power 0. A power 0 means it is independent on concentration, but for first order reaction it is directly proportional to A power 1. Now one example here, what is meaning directly proportional to or direct, it is independent. Look at here a first order reaction. We started suppose with 100 gram of reactant and 100 gram convert into 50 gram in 10 minutes. Now this 10 minutes consider as half life, because 100 gram reactant now converted into 50 gram, it means half of the reactants converted into product. Now once again we started with 50 gram, it reached at 25 gram. Once again this is half life, because 50 convert into 25, it means 25 gram, it means half of the reactant has converted into product. And because it is first order reaction, if this half life required 10 minutes, so this half life also required 10 minutes, as half life doesn't depend on concentration in case of first order reaction. 25 converted to 12.5, and once again the time required is 10 minutes. 12.5 converted into 6.25 gram, and once again time required is 10 minutes. So half life doesn't depend on concentration in case of first order reaction. But in zero order reaction, it is directly proportional to concentration. For example, if it required 10 minutes here to convert 100 gram into 50 gram, now it required only 5 minutes, as it is directly proportional to concentration. Earlier concentration of reactant was 100, now concentration of reactant is 50, because the concentration of reactant reduced by half, so T half also reduced by half. Again it required now only 2.5 minutes, because once again concentration reduced and therefore half-life also reduced. So in first order reaction, half-life constant, but in zero order, half-life directly proportional to concentration of reactant. Now this is a general expression for half-life. We have discussed for zero order, we have discussed for first order, but this is a general expression which says half-life directly proportional to concentration power 1 minus n, and where n is order of reaction. Now you may have a simple question based on this formula. You are provided this curve and you need to find out what is order of reaction. In first curve here you can see, on the basis of curve you can write half-life directly proportional to a power 1. This I have get on behalf of this curve, half-life directly proportional to a power 1. General formula says half-life directly proportional to a power 1 minus n. Now if you compare these two formula, you can write 1 minus n equals to 1. A power 1 minus n. You can write 1 minus n equals to 1, or you can say n equals to 0. And you know n is order of reaction. So here order of reaction is 0, which we already discussed, that half-life concentration directly proportional to in case of zero order reaction. Similarly do here, it is T half now directly proportional to a power minus 2. This is again from curve. Once again compare with this, you can write 1 minus n equals to minus 2, or therefore n equal to 3. So this is a third order reaction. And for third curve you can write T half directly proportional to a power 0, because it is not depend on concentration, so it is a power 0. Once again compare this two formula, 1 minus n equal to 0, and therefore n should equals to 1. So this is zero order, this is third order, and this is first order reaction, and this we predicted on the basis of curve between half-life and concentration of reactant. Now this is a very common question with respect to integrated rate law method. A first order reaction required 20 minutes to complete 30% of reaction. It required 20 minutes to complete 30% of reaction. Calculate time required to convert 60% of reactants into product. So you are provided that the reaction required 20 minutes for 30% reaction. Now you need to calculate in how much time 60% of reaction will complete. Do not use unitary method here if it is a first order reaction, because we know as the reaction proceed, the rate of reaction becomes slow. R directly proportional to concentration of reactant power 1. This is for first order reaction. So just as the concentration of reactant decrease, as concentration of reactant decrease, the rate of reaction becomes slower, and therefore the time required will continuously increase. So don't use here unitary method in case it is first order reaction. Use formula for first order reaction. Now initial concentration is suppose 100, then concentration at 20 minutes. In 20 minutes 30% of reaction complete. It means the leftover reactant is 70. Here also a number of students go wrong. They write here 30, but don't write here 30. It is 30% reaction complete. It means the leftover reactant is 70. This is equation number 1. Similarly 2.303 time we have to calculate log. Now once again initial concentration is 100. This time 60% of reaction has completed, so leftover reactant is 40. Equalize this two, you will get k will cancel by k, 2.303 cancel by 2.303. Don't cancel log. This type of mistakes also committed by students, but don't cancel log and log. And now you can get the value of T. Pseudo first order reaction. Next point, pseudo means false. So they are not really first order reaction, but there seems to be first order reaction. One and only example of your syllabus, it is hydrolysis of ester. When ester is hydrolyzed, it converts into carboxylic acid and alcohol. The definition of pseudo first order reaction is it is a higher order reaction. Higher order reaction means it may be second order reaction like here. A higher order reaction which follow kinetics of first order in some specific condition. I repeat, it is high order reaction which follow kinetics of first order in some specific condition. They are known as pseudo first order reaction. Look at here, if water is not excess in the reaction, remember I have written here water in excess, and then only it is a pseudo first order reaction. If you do not write here excess, then R equals to, if water is not in excess, then R equals to K, concentration of ester and concentration of water, because water and ester are reactant in the reaction. So if water is not excess, then it is K, ester and water. Order of reaction is 1 plus 1 equals to 2, 1 for ester and 1 for water. So it is a second order reaction if water is not in excess. But if you take water in excess, then R is obtained as K into concentration of only ester. You can't see here water if water is taken in excess, and therefore now it is first order reaction. It follow kinetics of first order. Follow kinetics of first order means you have to use this formula now, and in this condition when water is in excess, it follow kinetics of first order. It is considered as pseudo first order reaction. So I repeat, only in excess of water it follow first order reaction, and therefore it is considered as pseudo first order reaction in case water in excess. Now one question with respect to this, you may given this type of expression in a numerical and you may ask to find out value of K dash. Here water is given also and you need to find out value of K dash. With the help of given data, first calculate value of K by formula 2.303 upon T log initial concentration upon concentration at time T. Calculate value of K. Now you can write, because it is pseudo first order reaction follow kinetics of first order, you can write this formula R equal to K concentration of ester. This K you have calculated with this formula, so this is K and this K is same. Now compare these two equations or divide them with each other. When you divide them with each other, ester cancel by ester, R cancel by R, and therefore now you can write K equals to K dash into water. So ester cancel by ester, and therefore K equal to K dash into water. Because you need to find out K dash is equals to K upon water. The value of K you calculated from here, and concentration of water, I hope you know, it is 55.55. after dividing 1000 by 18. Mass of water in 1 mole, mass of water divided by its gram molecular mass in its 1 kilogram of quantity. So in next class, now we will start with carbon dating. Wait for the next video. Till that, bye bye.